A Wisconsin Department of Transportation highway camera overlooking the I-94 Zoo interchange shows light snow covering the ramps. A red pickup truck approaches an elevated curve too quickly for the slick conditions. In an instant, the truck skids toward the edge. The camera captures the vehicle veering right, hitting a snowbank on the shoulder, which acts like a ramp, and vaulting over the concrete barrier. The pickup plunges roughly 70 feet off the ramp, nose-diving onto the interstate below. For a moment, the truck disappears from view in a cloud of snow and debris. Other drivers rush to the mangled pickup now resting upright on the highway's shoulder. Miraculously, the driver is conscious and breathing when deputies arrive.
The biggest risk with that is that the melting and the freezing creates sort of a ramp-like, a natural ramp.
Footage later shows first responders carefully assisting the man, who appears dazed but alive. According to the Milwaukee County Sheriff's Office, the driver showed no signs of impairment and was immediately taken to a hospital. Family later revealed the man had survived with severe injuries, including a broken back, neck, and legs, beginning a long road to recovery. Authorities noted that a buildup of plowed snow likely formed the ramp that launched the truck over the edge. In fact, a similar ramp-assisted fall at the same interchange had proven fatal just a few years prior, underscoring how dangerous winter road conditions can be. In this Wisconsin incident, luck and timing were on the driver's side. He survived a 70-foot fall that few could imagine living through. But winter's fury wasn't done yet. Just over a year later, a sudden burst of snow and ice on a Pennsylvania highway would trigger an even larger scale catastrophe, one that multiple drivers couldn't escape. A driver's cell phone video, later uploaded to social media, opens to a surreal gray-white blur, a snow squall so intense that visibility is near zero. It's late morning on Interstate 81 in Pennsylvania. You can barely make out the shapes of stopped vehicles ahead. Suddenly, the thud and scrape of collisions echo through the snowy fog. In the video, cars and semi-trucks emerge like ghosts and slam into an existing pile of wrecked vehicles one after another. Some people have left their cars, standing on the road shoulder in shock as more cars careen in. Within minutes, over 50 vehicles are tangled across the northbound lane. Amid the chaos, a tractor-trailer's silhouette skids into view and erupts into flames, sending thick black smoke billowing into the whiteout. The chain reaction crash now isn't just metal on metal. Multiple fires are burning within the wreckage. Later footage and photos show charred trucks and cars accordion-crushed together, some still smoldering. Panicked voices shout to warn approaching drivers, but the squall's blinding curtain conceals the danger until it's too late. Emergency dispatch radios a mass casualty incident. First responders from 4 counties struggle to reach the scene. Icy roads and stranded vehicles make access almost impossible. Firefighters work for hours to control the blaze, spraying water and foam over the wrecked husks of vehicles. They find victims in cars consumed by fire and quietly mark each checked vehicle with a red X once cleared. In the end, the toll was devastating. Pennsylvania State Police confirmed that 6 people lost their lives in the 60-vehicle pileup, and 24 others were injured and sent to hospitals. A state trooper on scene was among the injured, though his injuries were minor. Investigators determined an intense snow squall swept over I-81 around 10:30 a.m., wiping out visibility in an instant. Drivers were suddenly enveloped in a blinding mix of snow and fog, what the National Weather Service calls a flash freeze, causing slick roads and zero visibility within seconds. Unable to see or stop in time, dozens crashed at highway speed. One survivor recalled the horror. "Couldn't even see 3 feet in front of me. I could only hear cars around me hitting each other," she said. The I-81 disaster illustrates how ruthlessly fast winter weather can turn a busy freeway into a deadly trap. For the drivers on I-81 that day, the violence came from nature itself. But not all roadway horrors are weather-related. Sometimes, human error and high speed ignite tragedy, as seen in a fiery crash caught on dashcam in Texas, where a routine drive turned into an inferno from above. Daytime traffic streams along U.S. Highway 75 in Allen, Texas, A driver's dash cam points forward as he travels in the right lane. In the distance, an 18-wheeler can be seen on the elevated overpass ahead. In a split second, the big rig teeters over the edge of the overpass and flies off into open air. The dashcam video shows the semi literally plummeting off the bridge, its trailer flipping vertically as it falls. The next moment is pure horror. The 18-wheeler hits the ground on the roadway below and bursts into a fireball. Flames and black smoke gush upward as debris scatters across the intersection of Highway 75 and Stacy Road. Other drivers gasp. Some stop and run toward the burning wreckage with fire extinguishers, only to be driven back by the intense heat. Traffic cameras capture cars on the lower roadway swerving to avoid the falling truck, narrowly escaping further impact. When police and firefighters arrive, they find the semi-truck cab engulfed in flames. Bystanders who rushed in have to retreat due to the heat. Tragically, the truck's driver did not survive the plunge and fire. Miraculously, the driver of the car that initially collided with the semi on the overpass was not injured in the crash below. In fact, no one on the ground was hurt, a stroke of fortune amidst catastrophe. The charred semi was hauling mail. After the fire was doused, scorched packages and letters with USPS markings littered the scene, later collected by postal officials. Police confirmed the sequence of events. The semi-truck was northbound on US 75 when it struck another vehicle and vaulted off the side of the overpass. The entire terrifying descent was captured on a witness's dash cam, which shows the truck engulfed in flames as it flips over the barrier.
It will be a mess out here for quite some time. Let's give you the scene here as well so you know exactly where we are. These are the northbound lanes of 75 and the frontage road here at Stacy, and this is the freeway, the northbound lanes where this U.S. Postal Service truck came off. What investigators are trying to find out is if this big rig driver just wasn't able to stop in time or if someone cut him off, as big rig drivers will complain happens all the time.
The gruesome footage led many to question the safety of highway guardrails. How could a collision send a big rig over the edge so easily? Investigators with the Texas Department of Transportation examined the bridge design, but their findings are still pending. What's certain is that in a matter of seconds, a busy morning commute turned into a deadly inferno on the streets of Allen. The Allen crash was a singular tragedy. One driver gone in an instant, but a similarly hellish scene would play out just weeks later in Los Angeles, this time caused not by an unfortunate collision, but by pure reckless speed in an urban intersection. Early afternoon at a busy Windsor Hills intersection in Los Angeles, multiple surveillance cameras monitor the crossroads at La Brea and Slauson Avenue. The light is red for cross traffic. Cars and pedestrians move through the green light on the other side. Without warning, a black Mercedes-Benz coupe comes barreling into the frame at freeway speed, estimated at 90 to 130 miles per hour in a 35 zone. In the security footage, the Mercedes blazes straight through the red light, never even tapping the brakes, and broadsides the crossing traffic. The impact is catastrophic. One camera angle shows the speeding car plowing into a light-colored sedan crossing the intersection. A massive fireball erupts as that sedan, carrying a young family, literally disintegrates. Flames shoot across the intersection, and a streak of fire traces along the ground to the corner gas station sign, as if someone launched a missile of gasoline. Other vehicles are instantly totaled, a shocking chain reaction of crumpled metal, flying debris, and erupting fuel. Within seconds, the entire intersection is ablaze. A billowing column of black smoke is captured on video by bystanders a block away. The scene that emerges is almost too painful to describe. Once firefighters extinguish the fires, the extent of loss becomes clear. 6 innocent lives were lost in the blink of an eye. Among the victims, a family of 3 who were all in that one car going about their daily routine. 2 women in another vehicle, friends Lynette Noble and Nathesia Lewis, were also killed in the wreck. 8 other people suffered injuries in the multi-vehicle destruction. Astonishingly, the driver of the speeding Mercedes, identified as a traveling nurse named Nicole Linton, survived the crash with relatively minor injuries. She was pulled from her wrecked car and promptly arrested. Investigators determined Linton had run the red light at about 90 miles per hour, and prosecutors later alleged she might have been going even faster. nearly 130 miles per hour when she blew through the intersection. Surveillance footage reviewed by the California Highway Patrol showed the Mercedes blowing through the light without any attempt to brake, hitting at least 2 vehicles which exploded into flames. Los Angeles County prosecutors charged Linton with multiple counts of murder and vehicular manslaughter. Officials said this case would always be remembered for the senseless loss of so many innocent lives as they simply went about their day. In the aftermath, locals created a memorial at the crash site, now known as the Slauson 6 Memorial, named for the 6 lives taken. The Windsor Hills disaster stands as a grim illustration of how one driver's recklessness can wipe out entire families in seconds. As one shocked witness described, it was gruesome, like a scene from a nightmare, but it was all too real. Not all horrific crashes are the result of malice or recklessness. Some defy comprehension, freak scenarios where danger comes from a place you'd never expect. Our next story takes us to rural Colorado, where a routine police stop turned into a nightmare on the railroad tracks. Night has fallen on a rural road near Platteville, Colorado. Police body cam footage shows 2 patrol vehicles pulling over a pickup truck just past a railroad crossing. The suspect, a 20-year-old woman named Yareni Rios Gonzalez, is detained on suspicion of an earlier road rage incident involving a firearm. Officers from 2 departments, Platteville and Fort Lupton, handcuff her and place her in the back seat of a Platteville police cruiser. Crucially, and inexplicably, that cruiser is parked directly on the train tracks that intersect the road. Video from the scene shows officers searching the suspect's truck, talking among themselves, seemingly unaware of the looming danger. Then, in the distance, a train horn. The body cam picks it up faintly at first. In the footage, about 15 seconds pass before the officers even realize a Union Pacific freight train is bearing down on them. Suddenly, an officer shouts in alarm. The camera jostles as one officer turns toward the parked cruiser and shouts to his partner. They frantically back away. Just 1 second later, a massive freight train roars into frame. Impact, a deafening metal-on-metal crash, as the train obliterates the police car with Rios Gonzalez still inside. The cruiser is smashed and pushed down the tracks like a toy. The video goes blurry as officers run for cover. In the chilling police audio, a panicked voice is heard repeatedly screaming, "Hey! Was she in there? Was she in there?" Another officer cries out, "Oh my God! Yes, she was!" The crumpled patrol car came to rest hundreds of feet away in a field. Incredibly, almost impossibly, Yareni Rios Gonzalez survived the collision, but she was critically injured. Paramedics reached the mangled car within minutes to find her alive but bleeding and unconscious. She was airlifted to a hospital with a catalog of injuries: a broken arm that required surgery, 9 broken ribs, a fractured sternum, broken teeth, and serious head and leg injuries. Doctors later noted it was a miracle she lived at all. Rios Gonzalez later told her attorney she saw the train coming and was screaming to get the officer's attention. She even tried desperately to undo her seatbelt and open the door. Despite her hands being cuffed behind her, there was no escape. The officers had no excuse for leaving a patrol car on train tracks. "I don't think you ever park on a train track. Ever," Rios Gonzalez's lawyer said bluntly afterward. The public outrage was swift. Multiple law enforcement agencies launched investigations into the incident. Ultimately, the Platteville police sergeant who parked on the tracks was charged with reckless endangerment and traffic offenses, and he later pleaded guilty to a misdemeanor as part of a plea deal. Another officer from Fort Lupton, who had placed the handcuffed woman in the car, faced separate charges including criminal attempt to commit manslaughter. As for Rios Gonzalez, she endured months of recovery and trauma therapy. She also filed a lawsuit and eventually received a settlement for the officer's unbelievable negligence. This nightmarish episode serves as a stark reminder. Those entrusted to protect can also make fatal mistakes. In this case, sheer luck and timing spared a young woman's life, though she'll carry the scars forever.